Hello and welcome back to the channel everybody, and today I'm taking an early look at Air Hauler 2 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and a big shout out to both Just Flight and Slopey, the developer, who have given me early access to this title so I can show you guys what it's going to be all about for the new flight sim in the market. Now, they've told me that the game, or the app I should say, is likely to be available in the next week or two, but don't hold me to it. This isn't the absolute complete final version. It pretty much has been completed, but there might be the odd little change, so just be aware that things might change slightly to what you see here today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work through the main parts of the application itself, and in future videos and in my live streams we'll then get into building a company, doing flights, doing all that sort of thing. But I wanted to give you a bit of a look around and get a bit of a feel for what the Microsoft Flight Simulator version of Air Hauler 2 looks like. So what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll start a new company just as a bit of a test, and then I'll show you some of the features and then we can get into it. If you are new to the Air Hauler 2 series also, I'll just run through some of the main things that this program does do so you get a feel for it. I mean, in a nutshell, by the way, as I press new company here, Air Hauler 2 is an add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator and all the other major flight sims out there. And essentially it's like a career mode where you build your own virtual company up, manage your fleet, your employees, all that sort of stuff, make money, build reputation, transport cargo and passengers and all that sort of stuff. It brings an extra immersion to your flight simulator experience. Anyway, when you jump in, as with all the other versions, you've got to select the simulator that you want to be attached to it. I've got Flight Sim 2020. Go ahead and go next. Let's just call this YouTube Airways. Great typing, Mace. Let's just call myself Kiwi Mace and Kiwi Mace. Why not? Very creative. I think I said that in my tutorial series. By the way, I did a comprehensive tutorial series on Air Hauler 2. I did it in the X-Plane version, but it's totally applicable to this version too. So I'll post the links to the first tutorial down there, and you can just follow the playlist if you want to get a good in-depth tutorial around everything. So here we go. You're presented with the first screen, and you basically decide what difficulty level you want. Basically, the easier levels will give you more cash and a higher reputation and a better aircraft, basically. So that's all important stuff. Cash allows you to buy stuff. Reputation allows you to do certain things within the game. And also having bigger and better aircraft, you can carry more passengers and cargo and earn more money. That's basically the guts of it. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and press easy. You can see actually that they've got the Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft in here. So you can either start off with a Cessna Caravan, a Cessna Citation right there, or you can even get a passenger configured Airbus. So how about that? Or you could also go ahead and immediately sell the aircraft in exchange for 2.3 million in cash. Let's untick that. We'll go to easy and let's go next. You then select your starting hub. Just for ease of use, we'll just select one in here, Heathrow. How about that? Let's go with that. We'll go into more detail around what this means when we actually put our company together, but that's just choosing your home base. This chooses the type of jobs that you want, the distance for the jobs, the size of the jobs. You can change these sliders once you're in the game also, but you can play with those. I'll just leave them at default at this point. And there we go. That's how you start up your new company. We'll go ahead and probably give me a bit of a cheer, and we'll get a pop-up here saying congratulations. There we go, down the bottom. Okay, there we go. We've got the chair, and it says you do not have a type rating for this aircraft. Take a type rating test now, question mark. No, we're not going to do it, but when you do get into the app for the first time, you will need to go and do test flights or type rating flights, very similar to other programs out there. Go and do a few maneuvers, and then you're allowed to actually own or rent that aircraft. But straight away, here we are on the main page, everybody, and for those of you that have played Air Hauler 2 before, you'll definitely see some of the differences right here. The graphic right here is an updated version of the previous one, which was in an office. And basically, these big tiles here are links to different parts of the application. So you've got cargo jobs there, you'll be in there quite a bit. Passenger ops, if you're going to be doing those. Company bases, aircraft fleet, pilot and ops. So there you go. You can click on that to go to your screen, the screen that you want to go to. There we go. Click it hard enough. Or you can actually use these drop downs up the top. So this is new too. Obviously you can see you've got these little tiles here, which then have the different an extension of the main title. So for company info, you can then go into your fleet, your bases, your pilot and ops, your finance ledger, etc. So we've got these nice tidy looking options right up there if those are the ones you want to use. Now if you're pining for the old system, you desperately want to use it, you can actually use these little ones up here. So you can see similar to the app and the other flight sims, you can just click on that and it gives it the drop down, and you'll recognize that, everybody. Those are the exact same symbols and icons that are used. So if we go to company information, virtual airline, factories and construction, marketplace, etc. First thing I like to do is we go straight into the options here, and I want a dark theme. I just like the darker theme, and there we go, we have got a dark theme. Okay, so as with the other versions of this, as you open up different tabs, so let's say fly ad hoc. Oh, I can't do that because I don't have an aircraft. Come on, Mace, sort it out. Let's go to finance. The tab will open up, and you can see that it saves your tab for easy access along the top right there. So I think what we'll do is, obviously you can get a good look, you can see the look and feel. It's very, very similar to the other versions of this particular app, although we have got these different tabs and the different interface here, which looks a lot more modern, I've got to say. It looks really good. So how about we go across these main tabs here and just take a quick look at each section, and perhaps if you're a little bit new to this program, I'll just explain what it does and as a sort of an overview. Like I say, I'll go into this stuff a lot more depth when I put together a series where we'll actually build our company. But the first place that you'll go into quite a bit is your cargo ops. So just go ahead and click onto that, and you're taken here into the overview map. So essentially this shows you your main base and the available jobs down the left hand side. It's got easy looking tabs right here. So if you've got passenger routes set up, that's something we'll go into. You can set up AI pilots to fly scheduled passenger flights. Great way to make money, by the way. Commodity stocks, you can buy and sell commodities around the world. You can actually combine commodities and create other types of commodities which you can use for certain things. This gives a graphic, the map over here gives a graphical indication of the pricing of each commodity and stuff like that. Missions, here we go right here. You have these people that pop up randomly at different airports and offer you to do certain things. For example, this person here wants you to courier 1,298 pounds of transplant. That's a lot of transplant organs. Jeez, what's going on there? Anyway, so there's a special missions that give you additional reputation and a few other things. Over here we've got our aircraft at the airport, so you can see we've got our Cessna citation right there. This allows you just to see, you know, what aircraft have I got at this selected airport of EGLL, which are my pilots, because you can hire a whole lot of pilots, and any stock and cargo you might have. Then we've got the parts shop. We won't go too much into this, but it allows you basically to build an aircraft. So that's that. So that's your cargo ops, and you'll spend a lot of time in there. So if you drop down, we've got the world map right there already. If we go to available jobs, you can see it takes us back here to all available jobs from the different airports in our region. You can also go to accepted jobs. So as you accept jobs, it will show them up in here. So you can then load them up and fly them. And then your world job BBS, that's a bulletin board. This is a job board that is online, and all people using the app can have access to these. And I don't know why I clicked on it, because it's going to take a while. And here we are in the worldwide jobs board right here. We're not going to go to too much detail, but you can sort of see the routes that are appearing there as you click. Passenger ops, you've got two options. One is your route, so we'll quickly go in there. Oh, we can't because we haven't got an aircraft. Keep forgetting. But that allows you to set up your passenger ops. So you can either fill your aircraft with cargo, or you can fill it up with passengers, or a combination of both. But the routes will allow you to, as I mentioned earlier, to set up scheduled passenger flights. So you can basically set up a schedule for the entire week. You've got to set ticket prices, you've got to set the type of catering you want on your aircraft, and you assign your AI pilots to, or you can fly them yourself, but the best thing to do is set your AI pilots to fly these routes day in, day out, and it's a fantastic way to earn income into your business. So check out my tutorials on my playlist down below there for an in-depth sort of explanation on that. Ad hoc is where essentially you can just set up a specific flight between 2 points. You don't make much money on those flights, but it does increase your passenger reputation. We go across to missions right here. So we've got three right here. We go to available. Here goes that one we talked about earlier, which is this transplant. These transplant, that's a decent sized trip right there, isn't it? He wants you to transport these transplant organs. You also have, if we drop down here, where are we? Missions. You also have ones that you've accepted, so that's just a summary of anything you're accepted. And also aid missions. So these are basically humanitarian missions. They'll pop up randomly, and they're generally based on real life events. So earlier this year in Air Hauler 2, in the Explain version I had, it had some COVID related flights that you could take. So that's just another added additional thing. But quite often there's nothing in there. If we go to company info, you've got all your basic stuff here. Your aircraft fleet. We won't go into all of these right here, but your fleet will list your aircraft. Your bases is essentially that, where you've got bases. And you can then sort of down below here, you can see you can actually set up your, you've got additional information, and you can also set up your base structure. You can add fuel storage capacity, you can add cargo stock capacity, a few other things like that. You list your aircraft, how much commodities you've got on there, how many commodities, whatever, and it's got an airport chart there, all that sort of stuff. So it's a great place in there to get all that information. Your finance is an area we'll go into quite a bit. This will, as you complete flights, or your AI pilots complete flights, it will chart this all. You'll have your finance overview. You've got your loans if you want to take loans, which you can certainly do. As you can see, it's quite a comprehensive program right here. I'm sort of rushing through it a little bit here, but we will take this slowly and build a company properly in the future. As I said, you can go ahead and take out a loan, by the way, if you need some more money. But that's just all the information on your particular company. Right down to your personal info, which you can actually have a personal fleet, the aircraft that you fly for personal use. You got your flight log, all the flights you do will be noted in here. You also got the airports that you have visited. I've visited 0 of 36,973, so I've got a bit of flying to do. And then your achievements. And as you complete certain things within the game, you earn these little achievements. And I'm already an entrepreneur by starting the company. And I've bought my first aircraft, which I got when I logged in. So that is fantastic. As you can see, everybody, every tab that we've visited, it's saved up the top here. It makes it nice and easy to navigate in between. Okay, so that's company info. I didn't go into all of it, but there's quite a bit of info right there. Then you've got VA Ops, or Virtual Airline Ops. We won't go into this, but basically you can basically create a virtual airline in here. And there we go. You enter your email address. You can set it up, and you can run a virtual airline. Invite other people, a few other things like that. So it's nice, and a nice extra way to put a bit of immersion into the game. I'm not going to go into that right now, but that's that there. Construction. So this is basically where you have factories that create products. So they combine the first tier level of commodities, and you can build them into bigger and better commodities. At the moment, well, in the previous versions, you couldn't sell them around the world, the crafted commodities, if you like, but you could use them for certain missions and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes, because hopefully you'll get into a position where you can basically say, hey, we need a TV, we need a bunch of TVs, and then you combine glass and wood and whatever it might be to make the TV. Well, I don't know why you combine wood for a TV. It's not the 1970s, but you know what I mean. So you can basically build a factory and manufacture a whole lot of goods. That's essentially what that does. You can also Stockfinder right here. That allows you to find different types of commodities. You drop down the box, and then it tells you, for example, DVDs, EGLL, I'll put in there. If I say find, this will then show you all the, yep, that's the airport that I want, so you selected. It's now going to give me a list right here of all the tier 1 commodities, of DVDs, the tier 1 commodities, in that area. So I've got to press find though, might help Mace. Okay, I had to do a little bit of fiddling there, but I actually ended up changing it to electronics, and it shows you right here. You can sort it by distance, and it will show you all the airports. I can see why it took so long, because I selected every airport in the world. I should have put a distance filter on there, but anyway, it shows me all the airports in the world that have electronics at the moment available, so you can see them all spread everywhere. So that's a good way, particularly if you need a certain type of commodity, you can easily find it in there. Anyway, we've also got construction, allows you to build aircraft basically, and then part finder, which is finding parts for the aircraft. So that's your construction. Then we're into the market right here. You can buy aircraft. So if you want to buy a new aircraft, here goes the list right here. You can actually go ahead and import aircraft that aren't on this list. You can change your photos of aircraft, stuff like that. But for example, if you want to buy the G36 Bonanza, $542, 542,000 I should say, to buy it new, or you can lease it for 67,000 if you don't have that cash. Sorry, we'll go into market right here. Hire crew, this is a page you'll probably spend a bit of time in, particularly when you're building up your passenger routes. You can see what's available on the recruitment board, hire someone to fly the type of aircraft and routes that you're looking to put together, and you just got to make sure you've got enough money to pay them, but they can be very, very profitable for you. The next one here, loans and banking and aircraft sales. So yeah, once again, if you're looking to get into that sort of stuff, we won't go into that too much detail, but here we go, management right here. So aircraft management, this is where you can go ahead and import aircraft that if you've got, for example, payware that's not on this list, you go ahead and import it. So you've then got a comprehensive list of all the aircraft that you have at your disposal, so then you can go ahead and include them in your career. Other things are custom airports, and you can import scenery, do a few other things, and also manage airports also. Won't go into too much detail there. The last one right here is our options. So you can actually, so I won't go into this, but you've got access to the Air Hauler 2 manual. Very important to go through that. It's got everything you need to know. Also, if you go into the options button right here, it gives you, what color lines you want on your maps, just general options. And once again, there's that job creation screen that we had when we first came into the app. So as you can see, all pretty basic stuff right there. So a nice clean looking skin that they've put onto this version. Apart from that, it's very, very similar, almost identical to the other versions of Air Hauler 2. If you get a bit nostalgic, you can drop down these if you want to use these icons, which you might be a bit more familiar with. But if you're happy just to use these, they certainly look quite sleek. And the the actual app itself, particularly with this intro screen, definitely looks a bit more modern and upbeat. So really excited to get into a career here, and like I say, it will be available very, very soon in the market, so keep your eye out on it. Yeah, really looking forward to building a company, getting some flights done. We'll do it live stream, we'll do some videos, and it should be all good. But anyway, Air Hauler 2 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, really excited to get into it. And hopefully you did enjoy just this very quick look at this impending release. So once again, big shout out to JustFlight and Slopey, the developer, for giving me access. Remember, if you're new to the channel, how about consider subscribing? It costs nothing at all except just a little bit of self-respect. Also remember, go ahead, smash the like button down below. Don't be shy. And until next time, everybody, take it easy.